The price of XRP won't go through the roof in the next few months, even though Japan moved to it. Japan will also let people use yen-backed fixed coins on the blockchain. We begin to wonder what kind of technology will be used to create this. Will a lot of different tools be used to build it? That's right. This movie will look at all the ways that Japan, Ripple, and XRP are connected. Here's some great news. I have a lot to share with you. Let's look more closely to see what's going on. There is now a message in the group from Deanna. Deanna wants to know if Japan's use of XRP could send the price through the roof too. Korea made a big deal out of XRP. The world market won't just move. Could go off if Japan does the same thing. August and September, the two events in Seoul could give XRP the liquidity booster. South Korea, the sleeping giant, woke up with about 53 million XRP users. A source says that 7 million people regularly use XRP. This is 13% of the world's policy percent of its amount of 500 to 700 million daily flows. I did need to make sure that some of this was correct information. And this is just something to think about. This number of wallets isn't quite right on the exchange. There are reports of about 7.1 million wallets that are linked to or mentioned by Korean users. So this number includes all wallets that are copies, and a lot of them have very little or no money in them. I just want to give you one more thought. Japan is the thing that can make or break markets. Japan's 125 Pi would have 16 million XRP users, the same number as Korea, which is 13% of its users, 2 1/3 of Korea's weapons. A daily amount of 1.014 billion XRP is possible. The shockwave of 500 million to 700 million won a day from Korea and 1.1 billion a day from Japan would add up to 1.6 billion to 2.1 billion a day in retail cash. It gets really tight when you add academic ODL roads to the mix. Not good. What is this to the XRP price? The price of XRP doesn't change when the number of users doubles, as history shows. Instead, prices soar. The rising window before events in September and November is worth $5 if the tals, if 8 tals are 10 after events. And ETF and institutional flows will add another 12 to 22 by the end of the year. September is also the month that XRP's double nuclear gun goes off. I hope you can guess in 2025. There is an SBI XRP Ledger Labs, new corridors, treasury adoption, or ODL growth on September 21. A Ripple executive is in charge of these events. This means they might have some new information to share, which we'll show you live on the channel as soon as we get it. Korea Blockchain Week is Asia's biggest and busiest blockchain event, running from September 27th to September 28th. Everyone is talking about XRP, stage time right after each other. Liquidity shockwaves one after the other. CA and Japan's trump card SBI, it's best for Ripple to work with holdings in Asia. It already connects to Japan and CH lines and runs SBI Remit and SBI VC trade. Right away, people in Japan and Korea will be able to pay with XRP. Dan is telling you that the tracks are real, not just a thought. When Japan and Korea work together, traders in the West chase the rise. As a result, order books get thinner and XRP prices go through the roof. Japan could set off the rocket after Korea lit the match. Is Japan going to make 20 or more worth of XRP? Let's pay attention to Paul Barron. Just one last thing. If a lot of new people sign up, it will be great for the price of XRP. I believe some people in Japan already have XRP. You can't expect 16% of people to use something when you wake up. There must be something very bad that will happen. Government could say something like, we're going to make a government stable coin based on Ripple CBDC technology. That kind of thing could make everything different. The yen is now steady. I do believe that. A lot of blockchains will have coins on them. As time goes on, I think Ethereum and the XRP system are the two most likely options. In the comments, tell me about any other blockchains that you think will get safe coins in the future. As time goes on and countries change, I think it will be on most of them. We want the US dollar to do well, just like people in the US do. People all over the world will treat Americans like Americans if the US dollar stays the world's main currency. We can spend our money anywhere. There are other countries that also want people to notice their money. Imagine that you had digital pounds, euros, any kind of money you can think of, including Swiss francs, yen, and more. Let's play this now. A video, Paul Barron. XP is now tax-free in Japan. Will the US do the same? Come on, play Japan. You should think about SBI. An important business in the world is SBI. Ripple has been important to them for a long time, which is one reason they're getting bigger. They have 9% of the market right now based on how much XRP they actually own. People who own stock in them are telling them not to sell XRP because it will make the value of their stock go down. We need more. The stock keeps going up. There's a lot going on. Ripple's CEO says that all Japanese banks will use XRP by 2020. Pay attention. This is now locked. IE, who lives in Japan, spoke up and said that what was said here was different. That's what I think about it. This wasn't said the way it was said, though. Japan's banks will all use XRP by 2020. Look at this. Almost anything can be used by any bank in a country. Most likely, one tool won't work best for the whole network. Now, 25% or 50% adoption is a crazy amount. One day, all banks might decide to use XRP. I don't think that's possible, but you can tell me I'm wrong below. I'm not sure if they're talking about the now that's 5. This has been a big story for a while, but it won't end until 2025 or something. That's all there is to it, since April 28, 2022. Okay, nothing strange. A fintech conference was held not long ago. These speakers are another choice. As it turned out, the digital minister met Brad Garlinghouse right there. He is one of the main guests. We met up in Tokyo this week. The people in charge of them want to improve Bitcoin and blockchain technology. There is a link between what is going on with the Japanese government and Ripple in general, since you can see This is something else that I want to talk about right now. This is Sony's bank wall. Okay, let's quickly go over. Okay, I get it. Did they not talk about that? One more thing, please. You sent this to me today. It's about Japan's leaders talking with Ripple and some other things. It happened in September. But if you look deeper, this is where they talk to Tyra. That's it. It's clear that this has been planned for a while since they talked about a project. You can read more about this tool further down the page. It is now called Project PAX. In other words, Progmat Data Chain Toki will run it. One more thing, please. Let's keep going. In front of you is Brad Garlinghouse, Paul Barron, and I just talked about this shot. In fact, they cut it here. But here it is Monica Long as well. This person works for Ripple. I know that? Yes, I can't remember the student's name. I'm sorry about that. In Japan, Emi Yoshiawa has been very important in getting people to use Ripple. That's great to see. His name is Eric Van Vam. I'm really sorry. This video clip came out somewhere between 6 and 8 months ago. Please forgive me. August 2026. It came out a year ago. Oh my, it's over so quickly. But this talk was very interesting. It's important to know that Japanese banks have been using ISO and working in this area for a long time. They knew blockchain would change the way people pay for things in a big way. That's why the XRP method has been tried out by banks mostly in Japan. This pretty much says it all. In fact, Japanese people put a lot of value on cash.
Not a surprise, not a surprise, yes.
People think we're pretty advanced, but in Japan, where I live, only 19% of all transactions are done online. In fact, the government wants to see more digital spending. Also, the government told banks they need to think of new ways to handle more digital funds. We got more than 50 banks in Japan to work together to create a new payments platform or infrastructure. This platform will be powered by Repo's distributed entertainment technology. This took the place of Japan's old payment method, the zeni setup. You can also use it to give money.